Let's talk about ILSMs, Interim Life Safety Measures. We're going to run through some of the most common ones you'll need and what it takes to actually implement them the right way. Because here's the deal, when life safety systems are impaired, even temporarily, you're responsible for keeping everyone in the building protected. That's the entire point of ILSMs. It's not just a compliance checkbox, it's a strategy for risk mitigation. And the better your plan, the more trust you build with your staff, your surveyors, and your community. Let's go. There are a lot of ILSMs listed in the codes, but in real-world practice, these are the ones you'll come across most often. Fire watch. This is the big one. If your fire alarm or sprinkler system is out of service even briefly, you need a fire watch in place. That means a trained person actively walking the affected area at regular intervals, documenting what they see, even if there's nothing to report. Make sure the log has times, initials, and actual notes. And no, fire watch doesn't mean standing in the hallway on your phone. It means being alert, ready to respond, and trained on what to do if there's smoke or fire. Pro tip, make sure your fire watch staff knows where the closest extinguisher is, how to activate a fire alarm manually, and how to call for help fast. Temporary barriers. When you breach a fire-rated wall or ceiling, you have to maintain fire and smoke separation, even during repairs. That means sealing any penetration with fire-resistant materials, marking the barrier clearly so staff know it's temporary, inspecting it daily to make sure it's still intact. Pro tip, label temporary barriers with the date installed and who's responsible for checking it. That creates accountability and makes surveyors very happy. Alternate egress routes. If a hallway, stairwell, or exit door is blocked by construction, you must provide an alternate route, and it has to meet the same safety standards. You'll need to post clear, visible signage, ensure lighting is adequate, and test the path. Walk it yourself and ask, would someone in a wheelchair or a stretcher be able to get out safely? Pro tip, consider assigning someone to monitor the alternate route daily, especially during active work hours. This is one of the fastest ways to get cited if it's ignored. Additional fire extinguishers. This is another one that's often overlooked, but if your normal fire protection systems are impaired, extra extinguishers should be placed near the work area. Make sure they're the right type for the hazard. For example, don't use water-based near electrical work. You've got to make sure staff knows how to use them. And also, make sure they're not just dumped in a corner. Mount them where they're visible and accessible. Pro tip, check the expiration date and pressure gauge before placing them. Anytime you activate an ILSM, relevant staff should know these things: what's impaired, what's being done about it, what their role is during that downtime. So you can't just post a sign in the break room and think you're good. You need a real communication plan. Emails, huddles, signage, whatever it takes to make sure everyone's aware. Pro tip, document that communication. If a surveyor asks who was trained and when, you'll want to have that written down. Now that you know the most common ILSMs, here's how to make sure they're not just words on paper. Number 1, document everything. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. Your logs need to show who did the check, what they did, when they did it, any observations, even if it's like no issues noted. Don't leave blanks. Don't let things get sloppy. Number 2, inspect your ILSMs daily. Things shift. Tape peels, temporary barriers sag, a sign falls off. That's all life in an active facility. But if your ILSM isn't holding up and no one notices, that's when the trouble starts. So maybe set up a quick daily check. Assign responsibility. Build inspections into your routine. Number 3, adjust the plan as the work evolves. Construction and repairs don't always stick to the original script. Maybe the project gets extended, maybe the work area expands, maybe new contractors bring in different tools or equipment. When the scope of work changes, the risks change too, and that means your ILSMs might need to be updated. Reevaluate your barriers, recheck your signage, ask, are we still covered? If not, revise the plan. Re-notify staff, reassess safety. Surveyors don't expect you to predict every twist and turn, but they do expect you to stay responsive and in control. Here's the bottom line. ILSMs are not just temporary fixes. They're a reflection of your facility's safety culture. When done right, they show that your team understands risk, plans ahead, communicates clearly, and takes responsibility for protecting people. That's what surveyors are looking for. And more importantly, it's what your staff and your patients deserve.